Ready, hot!
Welcome to Owen Field, where the Sooners have begun preparation for their Cotton Bowl match against Texas A&M, a bowl game that pits the Big 12 versus the, well, we're not really sure. I'm Barry Tramel, along with OU writer Jason Kersey, and Jason, a lot of talk today with Bob Stoops and players. Is Texas A&M just another Big 12 matchup, or is this really an SEC team that the Sooners are about to play?
Well, in so many ways, they feel just like another Big 12 team. They've played Texas A&M every year for the last several years, and now they're playing them again. Now, it does feel a whole lot like a very different team, though. A different coach, Kevin Sumlin, a different quarterback, Johnny Manziel, who won the Heisman Trophy. So in some ways, it's the same, and in some ways, it's much different.
It's a little bit of a strange for the Sooners and for the entire Big 12. Win this game, beat the SEC in a Cotton Bowl, and it generally upgrades your status. We'll have to see if the Sooners would get such compensation for a victory, but it's going to be tough containing Johnny football. Heisman Trophy winner David King talked about how tough it is. He's heard a lot about the Johnny football phenomenon, going to keep hearing about it, and he also talked about how tough it is to stop this mobile Texas A&M quarterback.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel is the ultimate mobile quarterback that they faced this year, and they struggled a little bit against Colin Klein. They struggled a lot against Nick Florence, and even Clint Shelf had success running the ball against this defense. Now, they kind of caught him by surprise, and they know what they're getting with Johnny Manziel, but he's certainly going to be a challenge. Bob Stoops said sometimes the worst thing you can do is guard everybody.
And that means he's going to run around. Bob Stoops talked about this Texas A&M offense and how the Aggies went to the SEC, which is vaunted defenses, and A&M had tremendous success. That's good for the Big 12 status. In some ways, this will be a litmus test for the OU defense. And if it's able to stop the Aggie offense to any degree, it's something that SEC defenses didn't do this year.
Yeah, it's something really a point of pride for this defense. It's really struggled down the stretch. Won the games against West Virginia and Oklahoma State and Baylor, but really struggled defensively to slow those offenses down. So this would be a huge confidence booster for the defense, and especially the guys who are going to be back next year.
Well, here's what Stoops and some of the Sooners had to say about Texas A&M.
You can say, well, how long does it take for them to be an SEC team and not a Big 12 team? I don't get into those. It does. It feels like playing another excellent football team. So whether they're in the Big 12 or the SEC, if they were in the Big 12, we will have already have played. So it just doesn't work that way. But, and it's interesting to me. All that debate, all that coffee talk is that SEC defenses and Big 12 offenses, they seem to have done pretty well offensively in that league. I think they lead it in every single category, and it hasn't hurt their winning. They've won a bunch of games there, too. So they're doing pretty good against all those defenses.
Yeah, it is a little strange. People say this is like a outer-conference game, and I think for us, I was like, well, I mean, we played them last year, and so, we're familiar with both sides are familiar with each other, and so it is a little different playing them in a bowl game, just because you're used to them being in the Big 12 and always competing against them.
Regardless of where we ended up in any particular bowl game, it's going to be a tough opponent. It was going to be Texas A&M or Florida, so neither one is easy. Certainly, Johnny Manziel adds to the game, the atmosphere of what's going to, take place down there, and I think that's very exciting for our players because it's a very unique challenge to play the number one offense in the Southeastern Conference with the best quarterback. So again, we're excited. We know it's going to be a difficult challenge, but I think our players are looking forward to it.
Who doesn't want to play against defense? Doesn't want to play against the Heisman Trophy winner to see if he's actually, that type of player. And watching film, we know that he is. We know the challenge is going to be there, but we want to be, the team that says, hey, we got after this guy and we really shut him down. So it's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be a challenge for us to even play against A&M again. Them living the Big 12. So. The rivalry is there. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and it's gonna be exciting to play against the Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, it's just extra motivation. We got to sit around here for a month and watch ESPN, and all they talk about is Johnny football or Johnny Heisman, whatever they call him now. But we sit around and we get tired of watching this. The whole national media is scrutinizing our defense about, we can't stop the run, and, we're underdogs in this game, so we got a lot to prove. And on January 4th, we'll be ready to play.
I mean, nicknames are cool and everything, but it's not like I want to hit him regardless. I mean, regardless if it wasn't him or if it was somebody else or some other quarterback, I'd want to hit them regardless, no matter who they were, what their name was, and whatever they did or whatever they did. You just got to extra him now because, he won the Heisman, and you can't, if you don't hit him, it's 30, at least 30, or to the crib, so.
Like I said, that's the tough part. When you think you got everything covered, you think you got the sack, and he somehow makes that's when he's at his best. So just got to try extra harder. Just go the extra yard for it, and just try and make plays. Everyone's got to be a playmaker out there from every position. And when you got a guy like that, every position is going to be involved.
And so we count down to the Cotton Bowl, Oklahoma versus Texas A&M, January 4th down in Arlington. Sooners still not determined the status of Jalen Saunders, who was arrested on a marijuana charge. Bob Stoops said today that Saunders' status is still to be determined. Do you expect Saunders to play?
I think based on the precedent that Bob Stoops has set, that I would have to say no, that he won't play. Usually suspends guys for 1 game for similar things. So based on precedent alone, I would have to say no, he won't play in the Cotton Bowl.
Well, we'll have that news for you when it arrives. Stay tuned for further OU Bowl coverage here on News OK and every day in the Oklahoman.